I've come to Holy Island, Lindisfarne, hoping to capture some great images. Why not come with me? Well, good morning, and you find me on my second day of my sort of brief photo trip, and today you find us on Holy Island, or Lindisfarne, which is an island off the North Northumberland coast. It's not too far from Berwick upon Tweed, which I thought was further away, which is actually where the border is to cross into Scotland. So, and having said it's an island, I've driven here, but it's one of those islands that when the tide comes in, the road or the causeway gets covered. So yeah, we're about 9:30 at the moment, and I got a 5 hour at the car park, which would take me to almost 2 o'clock, which is the time I need to be heading off the island, or I'll be stuck here till about 8 o'clock tonight. And so that's where we've come. Not quite sure exactly what we're going to do. There is the castle, and there are these sheds that are upturned boats, and I have been here once before, so we're going to try and capture some of those, go along and see if we can get the castle in the background with the upturned boats, see what else we can get nearer the castle. There are some old lime kilns there. Probably not go into the priory because you've got to pay to do that, so we're probably not going to do that. So yeah, I think that just about covers it. I had a reasonable night's sleep. Just made a relatively quick getaway, and once I got here I've made myself a coffee, had my breakfast that I'd brought, which was basically hard-boiled eggs. I have got another snack, but depending on what time I get finished with the photography, we'll see if there's a cafe or something where we have something to eat there before we head off, and have the snack as an evening snack before we get to our meeting. So yeah, that's the plans for today. We'll stop there and we'll see you a little bit later. Right, well, I've come to this little observation tower, and I thought I'd just walk around and show you what we can see. Now if we look across in front of us, that's the causeway coming across to the island that I've come across, and obviously coming around here we're looking at, in a sense, the village or the town. I'm not quite sure what you class it as. You've got St Mary's Church there. There is, if I just show you down, there is sort of explanation boards, and as we come round we've got the Lindisfarne Priory that, according to this, was founded by St Aidan in AD 635. So it's pretty old, certainly older than I am. And then we come across the links, etc. And if we look out there, I don't know whether you can see it, it should be in the middle of the screen, there's a little white pyramid type thing, and that's a navigation beacon. And then we've got the wilds, and if we come round here, obviously you can see there's the castle there, and then there's the harbour, which is fairly empty at the moment because obviously we've come across at low tide. It would be interesting to come here some point at come across before high tide and stay for the time. That was the plan for tomorrow, but I needed to do things at home and didn't get away early enough. And you can see there along the harbour there's some of these upturned boats that form sheds, so the idea is we'll walk along this path, then round the harbour and up to the castle. So yeah, what else have we got? If we come and look that way, there's you can see there's a war memorial just immediately there, and then there's a navigation aid that's to help boats in to Holy Island harbour. So and if we look across that way, there are two sort of pyramid or obelisk type things, and they're to do with navigation aids. So I think the idea is that slightly further out you line those up to come in. And if we look across there, hopefully in about the middle of the screen, we've got Bamborough Castle, which is where we were yesterday. So that's where we were. And just as we come round, coming back to where those two obelisks are, now I'm not quite sure, maybe I have to look on the screen when I get back. But behind this sort of left-hand obelisk, there's a load of caravans, etc. That could be where I was last night. So yeah. And obviously we're just coming round there, and that's obviously where we've driven this morning. And there's a little, although it's not so much of an island at the moment, out there that's called St Cuthbert's Island. You can see there's a little cross on it, and presumably at high tide it does become an island, whereas you can actually walk out to it at the moment. So yeah, so we'll go back down and we'll head towards the harbour and then the castle and see what images we can come up with. I didn't mention, just looking right out there to see, again you can see the Farne Islands. So right, anyway, we'll stop rabbling on and we'll see you a little bit later. Right, well we've come up with our first composition, which I mentioned about the upturned boats as sheds and the castle in the background. And what there is, I don't know whether you can see there in the middle, there's a bench where a couple were sat. They're just moving now. But yeah, so that's basically the composition. We've got the camera down there. Just a straightforward thing, nothing in particular. We're at about 40 ISO, and we're just in our standard landscape. Yeah, I don't think there's much more to be to be done here. We're just gonna, or just maybe take a couple more images now. We haven't got the couple there on the bench and that. So, and then we're gonna carry on walking round. You see the track there, and then up towards the castle and see what we can come up with. But this is a fairly iconic or standard image to be had here. So yeah, we'll maybe take a couple more, capture a couple more images, and which is ever the best we'll put up on the video, and then we'll carry on to the castle, and we'll see you later. Right, well, we've come along towards the castle, and we're just trying to get some more, should we say, slightly unusual images, and trying to avoid all the people that are about. There's an awful lot of people, so it's going to be a struggle today. So yeah, I mean, you can see the summit there, and you can see on the castle there's quite a lot of people going up to the castle. And I have seen some images with a mooring ring in the image. So you'll have seen from the B-roll I came down and there was a ring, but that wasn't the one. But I have spotted a couple up where that little lad is up there. So we'll go up there afterwards. But what I want to do now is we'll just we're going to put the video on the stills camera, so that's on there, and you'll see what we've got is we've got all these sticks here. There's obviously something. I mean, if I show you down there, that is not natural. This has been a wall or something at some point, so whether it's a landing stage, but there's all these things with the castle in the background. And as I normally point out, that the video has a 16:9 aspect ratio, I'm actually going to crop the image to 16:9. So what you see on the video from the stills camera is what we're going to get on the thing. So yeah, it's just something unusual. So what we'll do is we'll capture the images. We'll then capture this, we'll go up to the rings, try and capture some images there, and then we'll put the images up and we'll head round the castle. Probably what I'm going to do is put the camera around my neck and probably just get one or two handheld images, unless there's something specific, have a wander around and that. So yeah, anyway, we'll get these images taken and we'll put the best one up, and we'll see you a little bit later. Right, we're on our way back into the centre of the village, town, whatever. As you've seen from the B-roll, there's an awful lot of people about. It's got quite warm as well. So I think I'm just wilting a bit, so I've decided probably going to call it a day here. So I've got, what did I get? Sort of three or four definite composition type of images and a number of handheld images as well. So we've done quite well. But it is difficult when ideally you're not wanting people in the images, but there's so many people. Maybe it would be good to come in the winter time and what with quite so many people. So yeah, but it's been a good day. So we've got I think we've got some good images, and at least we've got a moody sky, which helps. So yeah, what else do I need to say? Yeah, if you've enjoyed the video, please click the thumbs up. If you like what I'm doing, why not subscribe? It does do the channel great good. And yeah, the most thing that does really help me is any comments. So please, if there are any thoughts, please do comment. It helps to tune the videos into what people are thinking, what people like or don't like. So yeah. So what else? I mean, hopefully tomorrow, as I've said this evening, I'm going to a meeting in Gateshead, and then tomorrow hopefully we'll be in the North Pennines or the Tees Valley or something like that. I'm not quite sure where we're going to go. Maybe what we'll do is once we get off the island, find somewhere to stop and have a mooch on the maps, etc., just to find an ideal place to possibly stop tonight and be good for getting images tomorrow. So yeah, I think that's probably all I need to say. I'm just heading back into town. I need to go to find a cafe, have some lunch, and then I can have my snack that I've still got in the van for tea. So yeah, I think I've rabbited on enough actually. So yeah, we'll just say we'll see you on the next video.